Oh, are we on?
Sorry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. I am Sandy, and I'm here today with Anna. And this, of course, is our Self Care Doula. And a lot of us need this midweek reset more than ever. A lot of us had a very late night last night. And, I just wanted to say that I am so grateful for these practices because they remind us that we truly are all connected. Mm-hmm. And that no matter what the division or the politics are of your country, we have each other. And I am going to be focusing on what I want and not what I don't want. And what I do want is community connection and more love and more raising the vibration, because that's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
And so a few things that we have going on this week to help you ground and find balance is, again, tonight we have Matt returning with his midweek vibe check, which is at 6:30 here at 63 Washington Street. You can come down and breathe with us and absorb some amazing sound healing. On Friday, we have Kathleen coming back from Madcap Moksha to come down and talk a little bit about Ayurvedic practices for this Vata season. So the Vata season is the fall season. We all tend to, start to experience drier skin, maybe a little bit more aches and pains, and, getting out of bed becomes a little bit harder when it's chilly, although today it's not, but that's abnormal. But, it's going to be great because Kathleen, she grows her own vegetables. She grows her own herbs. She has a full apothecary set up at Irie Bliss Wellness, as well as on her website, with tinctures and lots of different teas and formulas to support your system. So whether that's your nervous system, whether you're a woman experiencing menopause, whether you need some adaptogens, she's really been an amazing resource for our community. And she also has her office down in Hingham now. And I think because the wedding dust has settled, she's going to be a little bit more available for private consultations. So if you guys want to learn more about Kathleen and what she does, please come down on Friday. We meet at 7, and then we usually get the talks going around 7:30. And then on Saturday, we have a DJ coming down at high noon, and his name is Your Friend Brett, which I think is great because he doesn't need more friends. And yeah, other things that will be kind of, a little bit ahead will be the following Friday. Christine is going to come down and we're going to do some crystal wrapping. So if you have any shells, trinkets, or little crystals that you want to bring, I think she will have some available if you don't have anything in mind to wrap. But if you have something special to you, if you have a stone that maybe you've cleansed or charged under the full moon, bring it down, and we're going to amplify that with our intentions, and we're going to make little necklaces. We have the book club, which has resumed, and we'll be back on November 17th, which is a Sunday. We meet from 11 to 1, which is brunch style. So feel free to bring a nibble to share. And then the following week we have, for Soul Saturday, we have DJ Mike Said, and he is hilarious, and he also loves cats. Long story. But he's going to be coming all the way down from the state of Maine. So again, we look forward to all of these offerings and these chances to connect with like-minded people. And yeah, so I love that on the mat we leave our politics behind and we breathe.
Yes, we breathe. So yes, so we know that love is a high vibration, right? Anxiety is a low vibration. How do we honor ourselves when we go into this place? We know that the spine is energy and it flows. Imagine there's so much love and joy, that energy is flowing. Our chakra centers are harmonized and we're in this space of love and higher vibration. When there's sadness, anxiety, anger, all of a sudden the Shakti in the spine, the power, the energy, the prana in the spine, all of a sudden there's blocks. Blocks in the heart, blocks in the root chakra, I say, because it's the low base of the spine, in the root, in the sacral, even here, like when our confidence is affected, our center of our solar plexus also gets blocked. When we are having hard times with relationships, or we don't want to open up to a relationship, that's a heart chakra block. When we can't communicate our truth, that's a throat chakra block. So when our emotions shift, and it's like a wave, that these blocks are created. And how do we get rid of these blocks to come back to that joy, come back to that sensation of love? How do we clear that? Well, we have breath, we have movement, we have affirmations, we have mudras. These are all tools. Touch. We have physical touch, yes, dancing, somatic movement, right? All of these things. And what we practice here at the church is to raise the vibration and keep the energy flowing. So, and that's the hard thing, right? Because life happens, you get home, somebody did something, or, then all of a sudden you're rattled and you start to feel uncomfortable. So that's why these practices are important to do on a daily basis. But why? Do you know why?
Practice makes perfect.
No, there's no perfection in a practice, because the bottom line is that we build resilience. Resilience is so important, because when we're not aware of the resilience and are not doing these practices, when something knocks us down, it takes a while for us to get back up. When you build resilience, as you build resilience with these practices, you kind of create this like layers of cushion. So when you land hard, you bounce back more quickly. So when we've gone through our hardest things and we've strived to heal ourselves by doing, the work that we do, because this is work, right? But it's good work. And are consistent in these practices, we build those layers of resilience. So we build and build and build and build. So it's almost like when we get knocked down, we go 2 steps back, but we can bounce back more quickly. The more we do, the more resilient we are. And this is how we build resilience. This is how I've been able to, when I fall, I can fall hard, but I can bounce back because I have tools in my pocket. I can reach for my breath. I can go to sound healing and absorb the vibrations. I can rebuild myself. And that's why it's so important. These practices are so important. The church is so important, because people need to know that these modalities are available to help our bodies feel better, to help our mind and spirit feel better. No matter what is going on in the world, if you're not feeling well, nothing else is going to feel good.
So. Yeah, and I think we talk a lot here about building self-reliance, which goes along with resilience, right? Like knowing that you don't have to reach outside of yourself to fill the void, that you have everything that you need within, and you got to tap in, and you got to put on your big girl pants.
Yeah,
right?
I think that a lot of the times we're taught that we're like very fragmented, our spirit gets fragmented, and it also depends on the traumas that you've experienced, where it's created these fragmented pieces of you. But these practices begin to bring you back together. And what I want you all to know is that we are already whole. The feeling of fragmentation comes from the mind. So when we unify our hearts with our spirit and our mind, and ignore the bashing that our mind likes to do, the critique, the ego, we come to a better place with ourselves, because the critic is always there, but the critic isn't always invited. So it's hard to separate those things, but with practice, you build up the resilience to begin to build the awareness, because yoga really brings awareness to when your mind starts to shift in that direction. It's also very, very important right now, especially, to realize what is your own stuff, what is your own energetic stuff versus what is everybody else's. My mentor would always tell me, because when I didn't know how to retain my own energy or protect my own energy, and I was around other people that were high anxiety, angry, those energies would stay with me, and then all of a sudden I would become angry and I would become anxious, and I didn't know how to separate the two. So she would say, we all have each all have our own playground.
Hmm.
And sometimes when we play together and we're together, sometimes other people leave things in our playground that don't belong in our playground. So we need to make sure to take those things out because they're not yours. You know what's in your space, what's your energy, what your playground is, and that's our safety place, really. So to become aware of knowing what's yours and what somebody else's is to draw the boundaries of energetic protection around us, really. Because when we absorb other people's negative energies, that can set the tone for the rest of the day. So beginning with what you begin with during, at the beginning of your day really can set the tone for your day. So that's why these practices are so important. Even if you're in bed, breathing in bed, going into a deep breath, before you grab your phone, before you start to reach for technology, take a moment to take that breath before you completely wake up and tell yourself you love yourself. Tell yourself kind things. Set the tone for how you're going to begin the day and then decide. I would love for you to come to a yoga class or breath work or whatever you're going to do. But grounding yourself in that way is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no, I think, better way than yoga to bring awareness of mind, awareness of heart, awareness of our bodies. So today we're going to talk about the vayus a little bit, which is part of prana or breath, the energy. It's the giving, the taking, the recycling almost of the energy, our own energy. And I'm going to bring in the vayu breath. Vayu is us working with our energy and literally seeing our energy as we receive, we press away, we bring it back, and we recycle it back to ourselves. So this breath does have a tendency to relieve anxiety, and that's really what my intention is today. I walked into my classes with these thick curtains and everybody left walking through a really light veil.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. I'm going to take my place. I love you so much. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I love you.
I love you.
I always tell people that if it wasn't for this practice, with the things that happen in life, you would probably be peeling me off the floor. But because since I have been in this practice and taking my studies more deeply and going deeper within, it's helped me to build the resilience and continue my practice. And remember, consistency is key. If you're consistent for a while and then you stop, you will begin to notice. But that is part of building your resilience because life happens. When you stop your practices and you come back, you feel like your body's bounced back to where it was. It's gone back to or regressed. But it hasn't. You've actually built up a cushion of resilience so your body bounces back quickly. Same with the emotions and the mind. So that doesn't mean you don't process things. Everything is processed, but in a different way. You don't hold it in as much. You don't bottle it up. So with breath, you are able to release what isn't serving you. Exhaling what isn't serving you, exhaling the anxiety that you feel, and inhaling the love that you are. So the 5 vayus, and I'm going to read it because this is part of Sanskrit, and it's a lot. And the 5 vayus are 5 movements or functions of prana or breath or life force in yoga. So our breath is our life force. Prana is inward, inspiring energy, which is what we draw in. Apana, downward, eliminating energy or energy that isn't serving us. Udana is the upward creative energy that we bring back. Samana is the inward churning of energy, and Vyana is the pervasive circulatory energy. So inhale and exhale, an inhale inward and a turning of the energy to bring it back into a circulatory way. So this is working our own energies, calming ourselves with our breath, and really working it to our advantage. So each vayu governs a different area of the body and different physical and subtle activities. So when the vayus are functioning harmoniously, it can lead to health and vitality in the body and mind. And we know what happens when things aren't going harmoniously. When we live in a state of anxiety and stress and fear, because there's a lot of fear right now, is not to be taken by the fear, because fear is the door to illness. So fear opens the door to illness. It is a low vibration emotion, just like other low vibration emotions. It lowers your immune system defenses. So that's why it's really important to nourish yourself right now. Nourish yourself with good food, good sleep, breathe, and be around things that help you lift yourself. And what I have also been talking about is our union. What yoga is a union, a yoking of coming together of the mind, body, and spirit. But we're all energy. So when we practice together, we unify that energy. I have been saying that I am you, you are me, we are we, and we are oneness. And when we see our peers, our friends, those that we care about, our family, down in this place, we become the forklifts for them. And these practices give us the resilience to be able to do that. So on that, we will begin. All right, so we're going to stand up and we're going to begin with the vayu breath. And the vayu breath is, again, a circulatory breath. And we're going to take a nice, just gentle step. And let's begin by just coming into mountain pose. And you can do this even just lying down, sitting down. If you're lying down, you can visualize the breath without moving the arms. So make this accessible for you wherever you are, whether you're in bed or in a chair or behind the wheel. This is something that you can do anytime. So standing in mountain pose, our intention here today is to raise the vibration, unifying our breath, harmonizing our energy centers through the power of our breath. So standing in mountain pose, feel the earth underneath your feet, or if you're lying down, feel the earth support your body. Feel the safety that you feel through those contacts. In mountain pose, we're going to pull the navel in and up. We're going to gently roll the shoulders back and slide those scapulas down. And we're going to reach through our hands to connect to the earth as well. So reaching those hands downward. And then lengthening our spine through the crown of the head. Feel the safety of the earth. Feel the love that she brings in. Let her ground you through your breath. And we'll do this breath with the intention of love, giving ourselves the grace through compassion. All right, so in coming into the breath, we're going to softly bend the knees. And we're going to begin by bringing the breath just to our hips. And this is, so I'll show you first before we begin. So it's going to be an inhale up, an exhale downward, an inhale back up, and a parting of the veil, that circulatory energy back to yourself. An inhale up, an exhale downward, an inhale up again towards the heart, and a parting of the veil, circulatory creative energy, bringing all that back to ourselves. Okay? All right. So here we will begin. Hands just down at the hip area, palms up, soft bend in the knees. On the in-breath, draw the breath in, let the breath rise. On the exhale, so don't let it go fast. Let it go as slow as your inhale and exhale. Inhale, draw that energy back up. And exhale, part the veil, bring that energy back downwards, towards you. Inhale, let the energy rise. Exhale, let the energy fall. Inhale, let it rise again. And exhale, part the veil, bring that energy back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, you can soften the gaze and part the veil. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Part the veil. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let the breath rise. Exhale. Let the breath fall. Inhale. Raise the breath again. Exhale. Circle the energy back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. A few more times. Exhale. Inhale, let the energy rise. Exhale, circle the energy back. Inhale, raise the energy up with the breath. Exhale, press the energy down. Inhale, let the energy rise again. Exhale, circle that energy back. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, circle the energy back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Part the veil. Bring that energy back. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let the energy rise and exhale. Circle it back towards you. And here we hold. Let your breath come back to its natural breath. Feel the energy in your hands. Feel how much calmer you feel. Remembering you are safe and in your sacred space. Release the arms and the hands beside you. Lengthen your body. If you want to take a full body stretch, you can take a full body stretch. And exhale, lower. So we're going to wake up the body. Inhale, come to the front of the feet to rise. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, rise. Lift the heels, exhale, lower. 2 more, inhale, rise, lift the heels. And exhale, lower, lower the heels. 1 more, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. All right. So I'm just going to rub my hands together because they're a little on the cold side. And we're going to warm up our hands. If you want to join me in warming up the hands, you can. And why am I warming up the hands? Because I've created a lot of energy, and despite my hands being cold, that energy is going to come into my hands and come into the rest of my body. Shake the arms out. Again, rub together if you feel like rubbing them again, and then shake the hands out. Okay, so what we're going to do here is one of the practices is also releasing the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs from the cranium all the way down into our torso, possibly a little further down. But our vagus nerve is part of our autonomic nervous system, and anxiety rattles our nervous system and rattles the vagus nerve, tightening things around the nerve. And the vagus nerve controls our swallowing, our digestion, so it also controls our heart rate. So when we come into a state of anxiety or fear and our heart rate begins to rise, we have rapid breathing, we eat something, it doesn't settle well in our tummy, that's when we can bring in some vagus nerve practices. So I'm warming up my hands too because I'm going to place my fingers on my neck and I want to feel them nice and warm. So what we're going to do here is we're going to reach up and we're going to take those 3 fingers and place them behind our ears. And from here, we're going to gently draw those fingers down the neck, the sides of the neck, all the way down to where the shoulders meet the neck. And you can continue to breathe normally, and you can also deepen the breath. So this is what it looks like on the side, is my fingers are behind my ear, and I'm drawing the fingers down, drawing that energy down, and pressing the muscle. So it's massaging the muscle, which surrounds the vagus nerve, and you're beginning to loosen those muscles, beginning to loosen the strain of those muscles around the nerve. So you're massaging the nerve. So continue. And I also want to let you guys know that there is a way also that this also helps the vagus nerve when it comes to anxiety. Try and see if it helps you to use your index fingers, place them right in the cartilage of the ear, and draw that cartilage downward. So that also releases tension around the nerve, releasing anxiety. So fingers right in the little hook of the cartilage of the ears, and draw those fingers down. All right, so I'm going to go back to massaging my neck. And then when you're done with that, you can just gently squeeze the shoulders with your hands. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the arms. And then release and shake it off. All right, so I have another thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring the shoulders up and down. So we're going to bring the shoulders strongly up, and when we drop them down on the exhale, it's going to be just so. So we're going to do 3 slow ones, and then we're going to go like this on the inhale and exhale, okay? So on the inhale, we're going to draw those shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale, exhale, drop them down. Inhale, and exhale, drop them down, and then inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And that's it. So release the shoulders there. So why are we doing this? Again, it's all in relation to the vagus nerve and this area here of the shoulders and the neck. Okay, so just notice how you feel. So I will share what I feel. I feel lots of warmth in this area. And it feels very soothing, to be honest. It feels really, really good. It feels warming and loving, and try it. I highly recommend what we just did. So if you did this practice with me, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you want me to bring anything back in that you missed, that you haven't seen. Feedback would be very, very appreciated. All right, so on the inhale, we're going to gently bend the knees, arms come up. Let's take a forward fold here. So let's swan dive down slowly and forward fold. So let's ragdoll here, allowing gravity to do some of the work for us. Release the neck and shoulders. Release the arms. Just let yourself feel heavy. And if this is uncomfortable, you can lift the body up a little bit higher so it doesn't compress the stomach. Otherwise, come all the way down. Soft bend in the knees. And you can take a bind, elbow to elbow, sway the body. And then release the arms if you've taken the bind, and we're going to gently roll up. Inhale all the way up. And arms come up. And if you can come Friday for Ayurveda, come swan dive down, forward fold. Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga, and it's amazing. Inhale, roll up. And Kathy's amazing too. Come all the way up. All right, so leave your arms up in the air, parallel to the ears. Take that right hand to the left wrist, and we're going to lengthen the left side of the body and arch over to the right side. So if you're on your back, you're very welcome to also do a banana stretch. The arms go over to one side and the legs go over to the same side. Inhale, come back to center, switch sides. Take that left hand to the right wrist and lengthen that right side body on the in-breath. Exhale, arch over to the left side. And see if you can press those right hips away. And then gently come back to center, lower the arms, and let's roll the shoulders. Roll them back, roll them forward. All right, so we're going to come to a tabletop position so that we can cat-cow. Now, if you're standing and don't want to come to the mat, or you're seated, you can do cat-cow seated just so, rounding in and gently pressing the heart forward. Or you can also use your arms. So see what works for you. This is also a form, just a little different kind of movement, but creating the same movement, just engaging the arms. All right, so in tabletop position, our feet are flat and our hands are stacked just underneath the elbows and the shoulders. On the in-breath, the navel is going to drop down towards the earth, the tail is going to tilt, and the gaze is going to come up towards the sky. On the exhale, the chin is going to move towards the chest, tail is going to tuck, and you're going to round in, pull that navel in. Inhale, abdomen falls, tail tilts, gaze rises. Exhale, chin to chest, pull the navel in, and tail tucks. Continue flowing with your breath, your prana. Inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you round in. So, if you're not aware that I am a yoga therapist. That's what I am. And these are part of therapeutic practices that I offer my clients for whatever needs that they may have, they need. I give them tools, we meet, and begin to circle the hips around. And then we find ways to ease whatever ailments or whatever you want to work on for whole body wellness. That also includes Ayurveda, cleansing of the body. So lots of different practices to feel whole and whole wellness, bring whole wellness to your body, mind, and spirit. And if you're curious about what yoga therapy is, just ask me. All right, so from here, we're going to extend our arms forward, coming into a puppy pose. Just extend them as far as it feels comfortable, and then you're going to shift those hips back, melt the heart towards the mat. You can even tent the fingers here if you'd like. And gently feel those hips reach back, arms are extended, and feel like if you have the fingers tented, feel like the wrists are shifting forward as you gently reach back. So you're going to feel that stretch all the way from the fingertips, through the armpits, through the hips. And if it feels good to curl the toes under, you can do it that way too. Nice deep breaths. You can hide out the mouth if you'd like. And then gently walk the hands back towards the knees, gently sitting on our heels. Sitting up nice and tall, inhale, right arm over, ground that left palm next to you. And switch sides. And lower that left arm. From here, both arms are going to rise. Exhale, lower the arms, bring the arms behind you. Interlace the fingers and reach those wrists towards the back of the mat, or behind you, lower those shoulders down as you draw the wrists. We're going to take a nice hinge at the hips. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, gently hinging at the hips. Maybe those arms rise. Inhale, come back up. Take the gaze to the sky and release the hands, arms come back up. Exhale, float them down. Come back to your tabletop. From here, we're going to extend that left leg, my right leg, your left leg, and we're going to extend the opposite arm. Lengthen, lengthen through the fingertips, and then bring it back. So we're going to do the opposite side, extending your opposite leg, toes point down, reaching forward with the opposite arm. Lengthen, lengthen, and then come back to center, circles with the hips. All right, we're going to go into a downward facing dog, curl the toes under, lift the hips high, and press the heart towards the thighs, head parallel to the arms, pull the navel in. Gently walk your dog. And if at any time you need to pause or stop the practice or take a drink of water, you can find a resting position for yourself until you're ready to hop back in. Lift the heels, lift the gaze between the hands, take a little hover, and then lower the knees down, shift the hips back, extend the arms. Inhale, shift forward, take an up dog. And if you'd like, you can lift the knees up or keep them grounded. Shift back, little mini child's pose. Lengthen as you take those hips back. And then come back to center, find your down dog, lift the hips high. And exhale through the mouth or through the nose. Inhale, lift the heels high, bend the knees, take another hover. Shift the shoulders over the wrist, drop the knees down to support your body. From here, tuck the elbows towards the body, take a little half push-up, and then press back, press the hips back. Inhale, take your up dog. Lower the knees and come back to tabletop. All right, so from here, extend that right leg, toes point down, bend the knee and circle the hip. Opposite direction. And then extend that leg long, ground the toes, press the heel back. Option here to reach forward and lengthen the body. I'm going to walk the hands back underneath my shoulders, press through the heel, and then gently bring that leg back. Left leg extends, toes point down, bend the knee, and circle the hip. Both directions, as many times as you'd like or you're comfortable. And then extend that leg long, ground the toes, press the heel. And if you want to lengthen the body, take a little bow. Gently lift back up. Ground the toes, press through the heel, and then bring that leg back. All right. Inhale. Curl the toes under, lift the hips. Come to your down dog. Walk your dog. And then lift the gaze between the hands and walk the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. Pull the navel in, lengthen through the crown and tilt the tail. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Take another forward fold. Inhale, gently rolling up. Arms come up on the inhale, parallel to the ears. Exhale, sit in your chair. Shift the weight to the heels and lift the heart. Pull the navel in. Breathe normally. From here, gently swan dive down to your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins to lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the palms. Right foot's going to step back. Drop that right knee. Inhale, arms come up. Palms together, reach back. Exhale, release the arms, bracket that front foot and ground that right palm. Lift the left arm up. And exhale, lower it back down. From here, you're going to gently lift that back knee, step it forward and forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. And then let's root to rise. Take another deep breath in. Come all the way up. Sit in your chair, second set. Shift the weight to the heels. Pull the navel in. Heart lifts. Sit a little lower. And breathe. Swan dive down for your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. Pull the navel in, lengthen through the crown. Shoulders draw back. Take another deep breath in and exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, step it back with that left foot. Ground that left knee. Inhale, arms come up, palms together, reach back. Exhale, bracket that front foot. Ground that left arm. Inhale, that right arm up. Exhale, lower. Curl the toes under, lift that back knee and step it forward. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. And then let's root to rise. Another deep breath in. Palms touch. Exhale, palms come to heart. So take a moment here just to notice how you feel. Notice how your mind was at the beginning of practice and where you are now and where you are with your breath. If your breath is shifting rapidly, try to slow down the breath by breathing in through your nose, in and out the nose. Inhale, palms rise. Reach back, hips forward. Exhale, let's swan dive down for our forward fold. Pull the navel in and lower the crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. Exhale, lower the hands down. Step back with that right foot, then the left, and then drop the knees. Come all the way down to your mats. Okay, so if there's low back pain, we're going to go into Cobra Bhujangasana. So if there's lower back pain, separate the feet almost to about the width of the mat. So that's going to decrease the pressure decompress the pressure in the low spine. Otherwise, legs together, and there's a little bit more compression happening in the low back. So if you suffer from low back pain, take the legs wide. I've been doing a lot of back bends today, so maybe I will take my legs wide. So hands underneath the shoulders, chin to the mat, tuck the elbows close to the body, press all 10 toes in. So remember, I sometimes see my students place their toes like this, but it's not press 10 toes this way. Lay your feet flat, press 10 toes that way. Inhale, press all 10 toes in, tuck the elbows close to the body, and lift the heart. You don't have to go as high as I am. You can stay low if you'd like. Slide the heart forward. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, lower back down. Take that left cheek to mat and arms by your side. Taking about 3 breaths here. And on the 3rd breath, hands underneath the shoulder, chin comes back to the mat, and we're going to repeat. Tuck the elbows close to the body. Inhale, press 10 toes in, lift the heart, slide the heart forward. And there's your cobra, shoulders back. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, lower back down. Take that right cheek to mat and arms by your side. Give yourself 3 breaths. On the 3rd breath, hands underneath the shoulders, bring the chin back. Actually, bring your arms by your side and bring them behind you. Interlace the finger, chin is at the mat. So if you don't feel comfortable doing this or this isn't accessible, just reach back. What we're going to do is we're going to lift the heart. Feet are going to and legs are going to stay nice and grounded. Just the upper body's is going to be working. So even though we are pressing and toning or engaging the legs down towards the earth. So we're going to interlace the fingers on the inhale, tone the legs, engage the legs. Inhale, heart lifts, shoulders draw back, and exhale, lower. Release the arms, take that left cheek to mat. Third breath, come back to center. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Extend the arms back. Inhale, lift the heart. And lower. Right cheek to mat. All right, so here's another back strengthener. We're going to do full locust. Chin's going to come to the mat and everything's going to lift off the floor. Take a nice deep breath in. And everything lifts. Arms lift, legs lift, everything lifts. And on the exhale, lower down, left cheek to mat. Third breath, chin comes back to the mat. On the in-breath, everything's going to lift. Nice deep breath in. Arms lift, legs lift, everything lifts. And then gently lower back, right cheek to mat. On the third breath, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, chin comes back to center, curl the toes under, gently lifting the body up. Shift the hips back. Take a little mini child's pose. And then walk the hands back, take the knees wide. We're going to go into a wide-legged child's pose. So let the toes touch, shift the hips back, extend the arms forward, and melt the heart around the third eye. So if your head's hanging, support your head by stacking your fists or taking a pillow or a blanket. Give yourself, or a block, give yourself some kind of support so you're not straining your neck. You can shift side to side if you'd like. And then let's walk the hands back towards the knees. Bring the knees hip distance apart. Shift the hips to one side and swing the legs around. All right, hands behind you. You can take the feet wide if you'd like and gently windshield wiper side to side. Wow, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. You know, this is my favorite part of the week. All right, so we're going to reach forward. So bring those feet back to hip distance apart. Arms are going to reach forward. And let's take a little balance here. So if there's any resistance to lifting the legs to here, pull the navel in and reach forward and start by just lifting the heels. So you can lean back and lift the heels. And then slowly, as you gain more strength, you'll be able to lift, heart forward, reaching forward as you lean back. If you want to extend the legs, bring them back down, parallel to the mat, and then lower back down. So slow we go, slow and steady, or just meet me on your back on the mat. So once you're there, let's take a full body stretch. Arms over the head, knees to chest, rock it out. All right, so from here, we're going to extend the legs, arms by your side. And we're going to do a variation of boat pose. So the pose that we just did, boat pose, is a balancing pose, but this is also a variation of boat pose. And what we're going to do here is we're going to reach forward and lift and hold, and then come all the way back down. So take a nice deep breath. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale, lift, and hold, and lower back down on the exhale. Take a breath in between. And on the next breath, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Full body stretch. And then arms by your side, bend the knees, and windshield wipers. You can take your arms into a T or cactus arms, whatever feels good to you. And let's come into bridge pose. So we're going to walk those feet as close to the buttocks as possible. Arms are going to be by our side, palms flat. And if you can graze your fingers towards your heels, that's great too. But wherever you are, just walking those heels back as close as you can to the buttocks. On the in-breath, you're going to gently lift the hips up. Just go as far as it's comfortable for you. Press them all the way up and let the chest work itself towards the chin. Press the knees forward. If you'd like to take a bind underneath the back, you can, tucking the shoulders in and interlacing the fingers. And then lower down. On the next breath, we're going to rise and arms are going to come up, this time with the hips. And on the exhale, everything's going to lower. Inhale, arms rise, hips rise. Exhale, lower. Let's take that right ankle to the top of the left thigh. We're going to take our hands, weave our hands through our legs, interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh, flex both feet, and we're going into supine pigeon by gently pulling that thigh towards you to help stretch those hips, the buttocks muscles, the gluteus maximus. Take a nice deep breath. Lots of deep breaths. So see if you are lifting the head just so. Release the head, let the shoulders drop. Gently pull. Release the bind, so release the hands. Take the arms into a T, keep the legs where they are, and you're going to take the knees to the right side. The gaze is going to go to the left side. And there's your twist. So if this is uncomfortable, you can definitely release the legs and just take the knees to the right side. Otherwise, you can stay here for a few breaths. And then gently come back to center, release the legs, windshield wiper side side. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So that left ankle is going to come to the top of that right thigh. We're going to weave the hands through the legs, interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh, flex both feet, and gently pull towards you. Tuck the chin if you notice it popping up. Tuck the chin. Draw the shoulders towards the mat. And gently pull. Use your breath. And release. Arms to a T. And begin to descend the knees to the left side body. Take the gaze to the right side. Gently, slowly come back to center. Release the legs and windshield wiper side side. Take the legs up to the sky. Gently cycle the legs and then float the legs back down. And take both directions. And then lower everything back down to the mat. Take a full body stretch if you'd like. And then find yourself in your final resting pose. You can rest here as long as you'd like. I'm going to begin to move my body so that I can close class. You guys can stay there. When you're ready, slowly bring yourself back to your body, wiggling the toes and the fingers. You can take a full body stretch or take the knees into chest or both. And then gently press back up to seated, meeting me with our hands at the heart center. To close class today, I'm going to Om with you. If you would join me, please, in an Om to bring our voices and vibration together. Taking a nice deep breath in. Om. Please join me in bringing our prayer hands to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts as a reminder to live life fully with love, joy, inner strength, lots of courage, compassion, and grace. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for joining